What's going on, guys? How we're doing? Welcome to Rise and Thrive. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. So I'm your host, Aaron Hensley. Appreciate you guys joining us today. We're going to get started right into it. So our Thursday calls are going to be focused on business, right? So concepts, ideas, things that you can go apply to your life, inspiration and leadership. So how do you apply that into your life period? So we're going to start today. I'm going to use a word called grit. It's a word I kind of keep seeing on posters and signs, things like that. And I'm kind of curious, one, kind of what you believe grit is. Like, what is grit to you? I'm from the South, so grits are kind of something I like to eat. Don't eat enough of them, but what does grit really mean? And I know you can put a lot of definitions to it, but do you have it? Do you have grit? Do you have the ability to kind of fight for the life that you actually want, or do you allow status quo to happen to you, right? Do you just take the circumstance and eventually kind of resign down to complaining about the circumstances you deal with? So if you are involved with running a business, working in a business, right? If you're listening to this call, you probably definitely have a job. So, and you more than likely are aspiring to go to the next level. Well, the only way you're going to be able to do that is you're going to have some of this grit we're talking about right now. You're going to have the ability, and when you're tired and you get home, you put the kids to bed, to get out the computer and study to get better. It's not just going to happen to you. You're not just going to grab information, out of the ether somewhere and all of a sudden be a genius the next day. You're going to have to put in some work. Then you're going to bed late. You're going to have to get up earlier. You have to get up before the kids go to school. You're going to have to write your goals down every single day, right? And it sounds, kind of cool to talk about. There's so many people that say that I'm writing my goals down every day. Oh, really? Are you? Do you just write them down? Do you look at them? Do you actually work towards them? So it sounds cool to act the part, to write down everything and to see the life on Instagram. Instagram's lying to you guys. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you're probably watching this on one of these forums anyway. They're all liars. We're showing our best version of ourselves. We don't talk about the losses. We talk about the victories. And when we do talk about a loss, we're always trying to skew it in a way that kind of makes us look better, like we're better than we are. So that stuff's all a lie. And it's a tool to be used. So if you see that world and then you're comparing yourself to it, you're unhappy. And then instead of actually going to get on work, you pretend, you really don't have that grit. And you're not actually going to have the life you want. And just because you think you're going to scale up and make more money, and you're going to solve some of your problems because you have more money, the reality is you're going to have more money, more problems. Okay. There's plenty of songs about it. One in particular pops in my head right now. So do you have the ability late at night, you worked a job, you had dinner, you put the kids to bed, you spent time with your spouse, everyone's in bed, you're tired. Oh, yes, you need sleep, you need rest. Yes, we all need that. Okay. Some of us like to sleep more than others. Cameron's always sleeping when I'm working. And do you have the ability to pull out the computer and study and then take action? Do you have the ability to get up early in the morning? Do you have the ability when, your friends are wanting to do something on the weekend, and I'm not saying say no to it, find a way to still do the things you need to do to move forward and towards the direction you need to move. Okay. So first question is, what do you define that as? And do you have the ability to actually execute, not for 4 days in a row, be all excited and motivated, you came back from an event, you listen to some inspirational thing on YouTube, you get all pumped up and you can do it for a day or two. Can you do it 7 days in a row, 14 days in a row, 21 days in a row, 28 days to make a habit? How about 365, right? How about change your life? How about you just dedicate 1 year to saying no to all the BS? Okay. I think I can cuss on YouTube, but can you say yes to the right things, no to the things that is just fluff, and actually clear the deck, make it simple, and move your life for 1 year, 1 year. Okay. The time's going to pass regardless. So can you do that? Now, why does that matter when it comes to operating a business, or just trying to be great at your job, right? Everybody's talking about this work-life balance. Balance doesn't exist, right? I'm a martial artist. When you throw a kick and you're brand new, you're learning how to throw a kick, brand new, you're wobbly. Okay. You pick up your leg, you're falling off balance. You're out of balance. Then your body with reps starts learning how to, okay. When he picks his leg up, your body starts to learn balance. Then you can throw the kick pretty easily. You've got the balance you were talking about. But if you stay in balance, your skill does not improve. So once you have that balance, now it's time to kick higher, kick faster. Okay. So now you take the kick higher. Your flexibility's gotten better. You had to put in some work. Now you're out of balance again. Then your body kind of catches back up. Now you're kicking head level and you're back in balance. What do you do now? Okay, kicking fast, kicking high. How about we had a jump? How about we had a spin? How about we had footwork, movement? The difficulty should always be moving forward after you hit that balance point. Because if you get balance and stay there, you're actually eventually going to regress and you won't recognize it until it's too late. You don't want to be in balance. If you have work-life balance, okay, you probably don't have work and you probably don't have a life. You don't have anything. Not anything worth actually having, okay? Some of my mentors right now who are, 10x ahead of where I'm at in life, they work harder than me. And they've got more stuff than I have. They deserve it. They're not in balance. They're constantly chasing a better version of themselves. My definition of failure would be 12 months into the future right now, being the same human being that I am right now, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. If I have the same level of influence 12 months from now, what did I do with my 12 months? So can you dedicate a year with some grit that you promise to yourself? Don't do this for your family, guys. Like, listen, cut out the lies. Oh, I work hard for my family. I work hard for, because you're afraid to be a little selfish. You're afraid to be a little selfish. You need to be selfish. Okay? Because if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of your kids? And I do believe that if you try to say, I'm doing it for my family, and then you actually don't go after your dreams, you use that as kind of a scapegoat, or like, I got to take my kids and do this and that, and you use them as an excuse for not why you don't have the life. You're actually neglecting teaching, educating your children about what it takes not to be average, but to be exceptional. And I'm a dad of 2 kids. I want my kids to have resource and opportunity. That's it. It's up to them to actually execute. I'm going to teach them. I'm going to show them how to go find those opportunities. Okay. They're going to have the skill set, but I want them to be able to, when I'm not here, because that's really what teaching is about. When I'm not there to do it for you or help you with it, you can still do it. And I want them to have an exceptional life. How they're going to have that is they have to have skills. So that grit's about what skills are you missing? And every single day you should know what skills are you missing. So don't chase balance. Don't chase balance. Can you have 1 year, you purposely throw your life out of balance, you actually get better. Now, if you think of a table, table's got 4 legs to it, or a chair, okay, 4 legs to it. You cut one of those off, if I cut this leg off this chair right here, I'm falling down, all right? So if you think about that, what are like the 4 pillars holding up your life? It's not just financial. If you're in business right now just to make more money, that's that paycheck you're going after. What if your relationships are horrible and your health is bad, right? And your level of influence and your soul, all those things are rotten. Why would you want a bunch of money? Okay. To mask all the other pain you got in your life. So what if you chase wealth your whole life? You get there, you're 6 years old, you find out you have cancer. No one loves you. No one's there for you. You got all the money in the world, and you can't cure it. Why chase one thing and not have the other things? You can do it all. So when you're laying out the things that you actually want in life, this grit we talked about, the fight you're going to have, and you're going all after it, and you're going to spend the hours at night trying to learn new skills so you can move forward in life. What are the things that you need to have holding up your life? Okay, well, money makes the world go round somewhat. That should be one of them. How about your health? When I say be selfish, if you're not physically fit, if you're not able to have the energy to put in these hours to fight off sickness, how are you going to actually do all the other things in life? I will tell you, I was on a trip a year ago with my family, and I was not fit, and I did not enjoy the trip because I was in my head. I didn't have the energy to do the things with my children I wanted to do. I didn't have the energy. All right. I had the want, but I didn't have the energy. Okay. Or the confidence. Well, whose fault is that? It's mine. And I can blame all the different excuses in the world. And I can say all the stress that I have, accurate on both. But I also didn't make it an intentionality about being the person I was designed to be. I used excuses, fear as a motivator. So I drew my line in the sand. I put in that grit. I corrected that. So now I have more energy probably than my kids. I get up before them. I stay up later than them. I'm putting in the work before they get up and after they go to bed. So I'm not preaching to you. This is actually what I do. Okay. So if you work in an industry that deals with people, 99% of us, okay, and you're in front of the client, you're in front of the customer, wouldn't you be better at what you do if you trained on the craft that you're involved with regularly, so you become an expert? Don't people want to talk to an expert when they go to a store? When you go into a store, you go to an electronics store, I don't know much about all this stuff other than how to use what I know how to use, right? I'm not going to go in and ask someone who has the same information. I want to go to the expert. I go to the hospital. I don't want to ask somebody who knows the same thing I know. Otherwise, I wouldn't be going there. I want the expert. Okay. So wouldn't you feel more confident in front of the client if you were the expert because you studied the craft so well that you don't need to read a manual? You can go straight to the source. You know exactly what you need to do. That's where this grit comes in. Before, everyone is awake, you're studying, you're training, right? And at night. So is it your financial life? Is it your physical fitness and your health, right? Maybe it's your spirituality. Maybe it's your level of influence. Maybe it's your heart, your love. Like, what's holding up your life that you're actually trying to chase every single day? So that way, not only do you have more resource in front of you, more opportunity in front of you at your job or the business you want to start, or both, or the 4 companies you want to do, okay? Or you put all these excuses in front of you. Why? Well, I've got this and I've got that and I got this, which is what a lot of us do. We literally use every single excuse in the world of why we can't have the life, right? We weren't born in the right family or in the right city, country, state, whatever. Don't have the right education. So all of us can put some kind of excuse in front of us. To me, those excuses are just the opportunities and challenges in front of you to overcome, to create a confidence and then a belief system that you can't actually do anything you set your mind to. I'm in a position right now where I'm like so confident that there's nothing I don't think I can figure out. Now, I know I'm going to fail. I'm going to do a lot of stuff in the future here that I'm not going to know what I'm doing. I'm going to lose money. I'm going to lose friends. I'm going to lose time. Okay. But I'm confident that, okay, I'm going to do it so quick. I'm going to fail so quick. I'm going to go to the next thing. And some of you guys listening right now, I'm going to lose you out of my life because you're going to stay the same. And my definition of failure is 12 months into the future, being the same person, which means if I'm growing and my influence and my people are not growing, I got to get new people. Because if you're the same person a year from now, what did you do with your year? You got the same money, the same friends, the same relationships, the same level of influence, the same health. Nothing's changed in a year, except a year's gone by. Maybe you watched a few more football games. Maybe you had a couple good meals. Why would you want that life? Okay, I'm not here to exist. And I don't believe in burnout. Like, burnout only happens when you're not driven and have a mission in front of you. You're chasing someone else's dreams. You're chasing, you're trying to make enough money. You're trying to make enough money just to get to the weekend. Okay, like right now, if you can't go to dinner tonight at the best restaurant in the town you live in, take your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, wife, whichever, your kids, and your best friend's whole family. If you can't, if we're a family of 4, if I can't go take my family of 4 and another family of 4 to the best restaurant in town tonight and order whatever we want to, don't even have to look at price, and tip 100% and have to think about the bill, if I have to think about the money, you got problems, right? So if I went to right now, best steakhouse in town, and 8 of us went to dinner, and it's $1,200, and I tipped $1,200, if I can't spend $2,500 on a dinner that really is just food, not because I want the food, because I want the environment, I want the people that's in that building, and I want to spend time and fellowship with my family and friends. If I can't do that today, if you guys can't do that today, you got a money problem. Okay, if you get 4 flat tires today on your car, you ran over something bad, right? Or somebody doesn't like you, and you can't go get the best tires, you got to buy it based on a budget. If you can't go to the gas station, just put gas in your car without looking at your bank account, you got a problem. Okay. And that problem was there a month ago and a year ago and 5 years ago, and you haven't fixed it. So guess what? It's not going to be fixed a year from now, and you're going to still bitch about the same money problems, and you can't go on vacation. And then here's what happens. Okay. And if you're like getting a little defensive right now, good. All right. If I put you in transition, that's what you need. You're the same kind of person. All of a sudden you get $3,000 sent to you because you got a bonus, or the government gave you money back on your taxes. They didn't give you money back. It was your money to start with. And you get $3,000. You spend that $3,000 in like 24 hours. on stuff you didn't need because you don't have an answer to fixing your money problems. Same thing for health. Okay. Same for everything in life. So if you want the life grit, do you actually just use the word? Do you like listen to the hardcore music when you're working out, thinking you're some badass, but then you don't do that 7 days a week in every other bucket? So that's a challenge. Okay. So next, this should apply to your business, your job, and your everyday life. All the stuff I'm teaching you right now, and guys on these calls right now, in the future, we will be tactical. All right, we'll give you very direct things. But right now, I just want to see how committed you are to actually being great at something. Because that's the only thing that actually pays. You know, Michael Jordan's Michael Jordan because he was beyond great. All right. Acuna for the Braves last night just said it. And here's what they said. If you keep up with sports at all, he's the first person. They said, you know, it's the first time someone's done 40 home runs and 70 stolen bases in a season. See, if it was me and I'm him, baseball's been around for hundreds of years, Major League Baseball. Okay. Like the Braves are super old. I would have went to the media and said, change this. Don't say I was the first. Say I was the only. It hadn't been done in 150 years. Probably not going to be done again. And if it is done again, it might be a minute. Because it hadn't happened in 150 years, especially in the baseball era a few years ago when it was steroid season. Don't say I was the first. Say I'm the first and the only. I like claim it. Okay. Like own that thing. But let's be honest. Like that's greatness right there. That's what pays. That's what you want to go watch. That's going to bring ticket sales up. Like people don't want to go watch the teams that are losing. Okay. Extreme fans only. Great's what pays. So let's get great at something. So how do you become great? How do you become great at anything in life? Going back to my martial arts days, how to become great in martial arts? Probably debatable if I was great or not, but how to become great? Train, become frequent. You got to become frequent before you become great. You have to become frequent before you become great. So what does that mean? Going back to is if you're staying up late at night studying, are you watching Netflix and entertaining yourself? Or are you actually saying, hey, I want a better life for my family, but really I want a better life for me. So I need to go train on something. And you're not going to know how to be good at training. You're going to start watching something that's not going to make sense. You're not going to like it. It's going to, if you do it with some intentionality behind it, you're going to be listening and reading things that challenge you and your skills that you don't have. And you're going to have to document, take notes, and you're going to have to go try it. You're going to have to try that phone call you don't want to do. You're going to have to try doing a webinar that you don't feel great talking to a camera, like you want to talk to a person, not to a camera, right? You're going to have to go knock on some doors. You're going to have to, try some things that you just don't want to do. And a lot of times, most of the time, I would say that fear right there stops everybody. They stop. They don't even go after life anymore because they're like, I'm not going to call anybody, or they'll spend 15 minutes pacing back and forth before they make the call. And then like, please go to voicemail, please go to voicemail. Goes to voicemail, and you hang up. You already messed up because you should what? What should you do?
Call
See, no.
Oh.
See, he ain't listening. He's over here texting on his phone. So what's the challenge right here? Okay. See, there you go, sir. You always leave a message, right? You always leave a message. See, I'm gonna make sure he's listening now. All right. So you can do 4 things at once. You're part female. So understand, like you have to become frequent before you become great. I didn't become great at martial arts by doing a class once a week or twice a week. It was every single day. My son, okay, competes on the greatest circuit is for sport karate. Every single day, he's spinning his weapons. Every single day, right? He's twirling the kamas in his hands every single day. Not once a week or once a month. He can't go to a seminar one time. That's good enough. You got to constantly put in the work. So the best train the most. You have to become frequent before you become great. I'm going to go back to Michael Jordan. Imagine you wake up one day and you're Michael Jordan. You're a kid. Okay. It sounds pretty cool if you're like the grown-up version, but you're the kid. You haven't got great yet. You haven't gotten to that level yet. So how did you learn how to play basketball? Well, you learn how to dribble first and then pass the ball and then shoot the ball. And then you work on that. You dribble, you pass, you shoot. You get a little bit older. You're in middle school now. You're dribbling, passing, and shooting a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. You have a deeper understanding of the sport. You start recognizing trends right? You can read things a little bit differently, but guess what? You're still dribbling, passing, and shooting. You get to high school level, you get to college level. Guess what you're still doing? You're still dribbling, passing, and shooting. Now, you got to be willing to lean into the fear and take the shot on the greatest stages. Well, that didn't happen when you get to the greatest stage. It happened when you were in middle school, right? Or you're in your backyard practicing. You know, I was never great at basketball in any stretch of the imagination, but I had a basketball court in my backyard, a little half court. And let me rephrase, it was half of my yard was paved and we had a hoop at the end of it. But in my mind, I was half court. And I'm out there playing with myself and just pretending I'm taking game-winning shots. I'm never going to play in the NBA. I'm 5'9". That ain't going to happen. Can't jump, can't shoot, all right? Can't dribble, can't pass. I can't do any of this stuff. But in my mind as a kid, all right, and I'm practicing like it's the game-winning shot. I'm sure you've done that a lot of times in your life, and whatever, if sport, right, or some endeavor in your life, like you don't practice in your mind losing, right? When you're pretending or dreaming, you're the hero. You're Batman, you're Superman, you're the guy that gets the girl, right? You're James Bond. You're not the guy getting killed in the movie, I hope, right? I hope that's not the version you're thinking of. So those are the reps. That's how you become great at something, is just continually doing the same movements day after day after day with a focus, with a mission at the end. Like, what is it the payoff for you? What's the payoff for you? Like, where are we trying to get to, right? So if you're not writing your goals down every single day, if you're not writing your goals down every single day, I say don't do it until you actually get clear with what they need to be. Okay, well, then how am I going to get clear? Well, you probably should occasionally have a little meeting with yourself. All right, Aaron, hey, like, you're 42. What do you want when you're 45? What do you want when you're 50? And not just the money, but where do I live? Who's my friends? What level of influence? Who do I want to know? Where have I want to have been to? Where do I want to be out of balance? So I have to catch up to something. So I have to learn those new skills. What are the skills that I actually would love to have in my life that would feed me, pay me just from having that knowledge and content and information? I love going down and having conversations with people that never met me before, because I know automatically they're gonna love me right off the bat, or they're gonna be super confused or hate me. Like, it's gonna be pretty, like, I'm putting people in transition pretty much right off the get-go. And it's because I don't, talk about all the stuff that's just random off to the side that means nothing. Like, I want to get right to the meat of it, because like, we got one walk on this earth, and I don't want to waste someone's energy, their time. And I wasn't put on earth just to, coast and chill and relax and have a good time. And neither were you. So started with grit. Like, what does that mean? It's the word I keep seeing pop up. It's a popular word right now. Nobody knows what it means. It doesn't matter what it really means. It matters what it means to you. And so, are you pretending to be a good business operator, business owner, employee inside the company? Are you a leader inside the company? Or are you just the guy that shows up, gets a check, and goes home, and then you're complaining about your boss? You're complaining about your friends who have stuff. You're complaining, maybe not out loud, but like when your friends go to dinner and you can't go, and you tell them some bullshit excuse of why you can't go because you ain't got the money. You want to go, but you ain't got the money. All right. You want to go to the concert, but you ain't got the money. All right. Because you haven't become great at anything, because greatness pays. Greatness pays. Okay. So challenge is, what skills are you lacking that you're lacking? What skills are they that you're afraid to tell anybody? And if someone asks you about it, you're going to act like you know what you're talking about. Like, what skills should you tonight, when kids go to bed, and if you don't have kids, you damn have no excuses. Like, it's not Thursday tonight for you. It's going to be sitting at home, getting on your laptop, pulling out your notebooks, taking some notes. And while everyone else is spending their money having, quote unquote, a good time, and they'll still be doing that 6 years from now. Okay. Like, I saw a thing the other day, and tell me if I say this right or wrong, Kim, is, see how I say this right now. It's something about, your haters one day becoming the people that work for you type thing.
Oh yeah.
Forgot how it's actually.
Work until your haters ask if you're hired.
Yeah. Work until your haters ask until you're hiring. Like, that's what you want. So while they're out having Thirsty Thursday tonight, and you're studying, getting better, taking notes, right? One day they'll come ask for a job. You know what? I looked at all these notes right now. You know how much I've covered of this so far?
Probably none of it.
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. All right, here we go. I am going to go over some stuff real quick. Right now, guys, you know, and we're on YouTube and we're on Zoom, and some of you guys will listen to this later on. If it's any good, maybe it lasts there for a few years or whatever, a few months. You go back and watch it. I go back and watch even my old content of my own, right? I motivate and inspire myself. But we're living in a time right now that leadership, like true leadership, people who are not afraid to do the hard work, people are not afraid to ask hard questions, people not afraid to challenge themselves and take responsibility to be responsive inside the walls of their company or in their household or in their own personal life. Like leadership, real leadership is needed right now. However, before you can kind of claim being like, I've got the skills to be a great leader, what do you really define that as? Right? Leadership isn't about being in charge. I was on a call earlier today and Cameron was sitting in the room with me, and Cameron's been with me for, I think, 16 years now. And there's a lot of stuff I've taught Cameron. There's a lot of things I've demonstrated and executed just in my life that's been the best teaching for him, right? I haven't had to sit down and say, hey, you need to work these hours, go work 18 hours a day, right? Work on Sunday, hey, work when you're on vacation. I don't have to tell him to do that. He sees every time he's been with me, there's not a day that's gone by where I have not actually moved forward in my life. Studying, training myself, right? Physically, emotionally, knowledge based. Like he sees it everywhere, 7 days a week. I don't take a day off on that. Okay. Now there's times I'm losing. There's times I'm not winning in that, but he's seen the example. So if you claim to be a leader, you should lead yourself first, family, right? Your level of influence around your people. Think about your friends right now. If you have a circle of friends, are you the person that goes to someone else in that group, or does everyone come to you? Like, that will tell you where your leadership is. Okay. Because if your friends always come to you, you're the person, kind of the glue, so to speak, you're a leader in that group. If you're going to someone else, you ain't the leader. Okay. Now, I'm not saying sometimes you share some responsibilities, and I don't believe that like it's a tit for tat. Oh, I'll lead this time, you lead next time. Like there's just something innate in me. I'm in a situation, I'm taking charge. Even if I give Cameron control of something, I'm in charge because I'm going to give him control of a parameter, right? Like I don't step into an arena that I'm not going to be responsible for. It's on me. And that's just part of, like, to me, that's leadership, is the fact that it's, even when I give Jackson, my son, some autonomy on something, I've created a structure within, if he fails, it's not devastating, right? It might feel like that to him, but it's not destruction in his life, right? So I'm in control even of that narrative. That's leadership, right? That you're willing to be in front of the bullet, right? You prepare your people so they can have that kind of confidence when they step into it. Leadership's massively needed in our country right now. I go into a business, ask people questions, they don't have answers. They're just showing up, going home, showing up, going home. Man, wouldn't it be nice if someone that loved on people enough that they could show them that, hey, you can have a life where you can be around your friends and your family, and you can help them out when they're sick, and you can help them out when they need resource, or if they need opportunity. You can help them out when they need someone to talk to. You can actually show up. You could take the time to get there and help them when you need it because you've got the money, the time, the knowledge. The only way you're going to lead that way is you got to get great at something. And when you become great at something, it's going to pay you money. It's going to give you more resources. It's going to give you more influence. So you're only become great if you get frequent and you get intentionality behind writing your goals down, studying and training. So if you work 8 hours a day, which I don't know anybody actually works 8 hours a day, okay, but if you work 8 hours a day, you sleep, what do you sleep, 6 hours?
Yeah.
No, you sleep a lot. He sleeps a lot.
No, 6 hours.
6 hours.
5 to 6.
Okay, can you do math? 8 and 6 is what?
8 and 6. What?
Oh my God, 14.
14.
Good job. Okay, so how many more hours are left in the day?
Quick math. 10.
Yeah, 10 more hours. Okay, let's say you eat for an hour. Let's say you shower and bathroom for another hour. You got 8 hours left. You work out for an hour. Okay, you do something else for an hour.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Okay. Like you still got so much time to get better at something. You could have a couple jobs. So if you are going to lead your own life and you want to go after greatness and you know you got to get frequent and you know you got to study, then the real question is like, why is it not happening tonight? Why do you have the same life you had a year ago? Because most of you guys on this call right now have the same exact life. You got the same money problems. You got the same job. You own the same business. You're making the same money. You got the same friends. Okay. So like, what happened in 12 months? I'm scared, honestly, 30 days previous to now, like I'm scared and I'm not better 30 days because I know that's going to be momentum. And I'll finish with that. Cameron, did I miss anything you want to discuss real quick?
No, I think you hit it.
Not really. I got so much more in here I want to do today. That's too much anyway. So momentum. Okay. I'm a football guy and I'm an Atlanta sports fan. So unfortunately, that means I'm a Falcons fan. And I'm just going to use one game. You guys probably know what I'm going to talk about it to use this as an example. So momentum is one of those things that's super hard to get in life, harder to maintain, because if someone's ahead of you, you can chase and then you get there, you get the momentum, you get there and you surpass that. It's hard to kind of keep the energy going, right? Like when you're dead broke, you can hustle super hard to get some money. Then you get some money, like sometimes the hustle goes away. That's why Connor's never going to be a champion anymore. He's got too much money now. He don't have that dog in him anymore. He's going to pretend to, he's going to try to fake it. He ain't got it. He won't be a champion again. Okay. So understand that when you look at momentum in life, think about this football game that we all, I'm sure, know about. But the Falcons are winning 28-3 at halftime. Momentum is massively on their side. You look at the other team, they look defeated. Most of them. Okay, maybe one or two people didn't, but they look defeated. The other side is they're massively confident. Of course, they should be. This is the biggest spread. No one's come back from that deficit. All the things that, as soon as I hear the announcers, this is just the pessimistic sports fan inside of me, knowing my team. As soon as they say that out loud on TV, I'm like, all right, that's the curse of death. Okay. So they come back and then you literally, within a few plays, see one team has a lead, playing not to win the game, but to protect a lead. And the other team playing for nothing to lose, all out. And as a couple plays happen, negative, positive, you feel, I'm watching this on TV. I can feel an energy shift. You feel the momentum shift. And then what happens is, as the negative momentum falls here, you start seeing people in their head, their doubt kills your dreams. And this other side, confidence. Obviously, we know what ends up happening. Okay, but momentum's almost a spiritual feeling. Like you literally can, it's just a feeling. Like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about the game even because I can visualize where we're sitting. Well, if I was watching your life right now, I'm pulled back, you're on TV and I'm watching your life. And there's a momentum scale at the bottom of the screen. Is it trending up? Is your confidence peaking? Are you playing for all out for this big dream, big goal? Or you're playing to protect what you already have? A couple things go a little negative in your life and you're starting to fall apart a little bit. You're starting to add on excuses of why it's going to be okay when you don't hit that target. It's okay when you don't get that goal in life. It's okay when you don't have the house. I don't want a lot of money in my life. I don't need a lot of money. You got bad thinking. You got small thinking because you do need a lot. Because when your mom has cancer, you want to help her. You're going to want money then because you want to make sure the best doctors are available to her. So don't say you don't want something because you're actually scared to say you do want it and you don't know how to get it. That's what you're scared. You're scared to admit out loud you want something, you want to be selfish, so you can help a lot of people, but really so you can prove to yourself who you are and what you're capable of, but you don't want to say it out loud because you know that you don't know how to get it and you're probably going to fail. Okay. So if there's that momentum scale at the bottom of the screen, where are you at in life? And then the way you shift momentum in your favor, you get frequent so you can become great, because that is the only thing that pays. All right, guys. Hey, this will be on YouTube. You can go back and watch it again. I suggest you do that. I suggest you go back and watch it again. And all I want you to do is, as you watch, the one thing that either sets you ablaze or pisses you off or a little bit of both, don't just write it down. Go take some action, because execution is going to trump strategy all day long. And that's how you're going to rise and thrive, because that's what we want to do. Thrive is what we're looking for. No longer surviving. 12 months from today, if you don't have more money, more friends, more influence, more opportunity, and you just want to be average, probably aren't listening to this call right now. All right. You guys have a great day today. Go find a way to draw that line in the sand today so you can rise and thrive starting right now. Peace out, guys.